Hey there, guys. I'm Cerise, and this is Whoremonger. I know for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you are probably noticing that this is a brand new Storytime series. Absolutely. On Wednesdays, we usually have Diary of a Working Girl, but there has been a few requests by viewers. You guys are like, listen, don't just talk about the women experiences, talk about the men too. What some of the men have been going through all around the world. And it doesn't matter if you're a pimp or a simp or just a playboy, the stories are coming in from all around. Story time. Whoremonger is on. Let's begin the first series. But before we do, please go ahead and subscribe. You guys know how it goes. And when the story's done, comment down below. I really hope you enjoy this series. And I really hope you're having a great day. Guys, if you have a story, send it my way. And remember, Diary of a Working Girl will be out every second Wednesday now. And Whoremonger will be out every other Wednesday. Saturdays, we are always going to put in Dark Side of a Working Girl. Alrighty. And that's the plan so far. But you guys know how it goes. Switching it up every now and again is good. All right. So without any further ado, let's get into this story. Hi, my name is Chris, and I've been watching Cerise's videos for a while, and I know a lot of you guys listening to this in Sosua or in America or anywhere around the world, you guys have been listening to this too. And I don't really consider myself a whoremonger. I really don't. I love women. I lust for them. I'll do anything for a piece. But the old me would have done literally anything. But these days, I'm a little scared. And that's the reason why I wanted to say this story, because I'm not really a whoremonger, but I am a man that travels, and you can call me a globetrotter monger. I'll go from Thailand to the Philippines to Dominican Republic to Colombia, and I will tap a butt and I will enjoy it and go on to the next. Listen, women are beautiful creatures, and I love being with one. I love being inside of a beautiful woman, and her heart and her body and her soul. It's just something that I really enjoy. But my only thing is, I like them all. So I haven't really settled down with one woman yet. Maybe I will one day. You know, I got married and I had kids. I'm a grandfather right now, by the way. But at the same time, I'm a young grandfather. You wouldn't know. I was a young dad. But that's not what this story is about. I just want to say that I'm newly retired and I went to Brazil. Now, I usually go to Colombia, like a lot of you guys listening to this. And I know some of you guys listening to this. I know you. So the story's for you. And so, I usually go to Sosua, Boca Chica, Santiago, Santo Domingo. Those are my hot spots. And then I go to Medellin. And pretty much that's it in Colombia. But I went to Brazil. And I hit this one girl. Like, I hit it good. And then I started to notice that I was itchy. Now, we never really hear about this in the men's groups. We never really hear about any types of, STDs or anything of that nature. I can remember way back in the day when I used to travel as a young soldier. I used to have to be very, very careful because we were all terrified about getting, that 3-letter acronym. And I didn't want anything to compromise my immune system. So even though I was active back in the day, I was very much into the condom game. Well, these days, I have a vasectomy and I've been around and I get a little desensitized down there. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be raising your eyebrows right now. And I know I've heard the stories before. You always say, brother, put a rubber on it. And I know, but I don't because I like it without a rubber. So I got this one girl in Brazil, and her body was a banging. Her butt was fat. Her waist was tiny. Her breasts were scrumptious and beautiful, and her lips were so rosy, and they were beautiful. She was beautiful, and I I got something from her. Now, when I got it from her, I didn't realize what it was. And then I was itching and I was scratching. And then it was about 4 days in where I was like, I think I got something. And I went to the doctor, and it was by that day where I was scratching so much, like in the middle of the night, and it was hard for me to pee. And, I thought my erectile difficulties were the dysfunctional part was, having a problem. But no, it was an STD. Now, the reason why I want you brothers to know about this and the men that travel around the world is because you may think it's safe to get something and you can get a medication to take it away. But for me, I'll just tell you what it is. Herpes. Yeah. She didn't even have a real breakout. It wasn't even like there were a lot of pimples down there or anything of that nature. Really nothing. There was one little one, and I asked her, "What's that?" And she said she nicked herself shaving. And I believed it. I went down on her, and I put it in her. And the problem started first down there. Eventually, it went on my mouth. Now, I contacted the woman afterwards, and when this started to happen, I was already in Brazil still. And then I decided that I was going to leave Brazil because, listen, when it comes to your manliness down there, the last thing you want to do is fool around. So I took off, and I went all the way back to America, went to the doctor, got checked out. By the time I was at the doctor, I was just breaking out down there and up on my lips. It was horrible. And the doctor told me it was aggressive herpes. That's what the doctor said. Aggressive herpes. Now, I asked the doctor, I said, I didn't know genital herpes was the same as herpes on the mouth. And he said, well, it is kind of different. And, I fainted right there in the office. I couldn't even hear the rest that he said, and I didn't faint because it was bad news. I fainted because the pain was so bad. And he told me before I fainted that he was going to have to put me on pills. But when I fainted and he kind of woke me up, he's like, how are you feeling? I said, oh, I'm burning all over. I'm in pain. I couldn't even move. They called 911. I had to get to the hospital and get intravenous put in me. And yes, eventually the infection eased, but I'll have herpes until the day I die, the doctor said. Doctor said sometimes the breakouts depends on the time of year, what I'm eating, what I'm doing, and he said sometimes they'll just flare up out of nowhere. And so far, I've had 2 flare-ups. None the same as the first one where I had to do intravenous. But I take pills in order to keep them on kind of like the bay side, keep them on the wayside, keep them on the side that I don't want them on, far away from me. But I'm still paranoid every single day. I'm terrified to sleep with any of these women around the world because I don't want it to get back to any of you brothers. That's that. And I still can't commit to one woman, but now I've been spending a lot of time with Pamela and trying to spend a lot of time with Pamela with a condom on top of it. Be careful out there, guys. Be careful. Hey, guys. Oh, I'm not laughing. I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, when he told me that, we were on Sosua Beach, and he told me he does not mess around with any of the women any longer. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because I don't want to infect any of the men. He said that he didn't get it in Sosua and he doesn't want to spread it in Sosua. He said the Sosua women always smell good and they taste good and they're great. He said this happened to him in Brazil. Now, this is not to say that the Brazilian women are nasty. Not at all. Women from all around the world are beautiful, but just be careful, men. Please take a moment to subscribe, hit that like button, and if you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. Everyone, huge hugs, loads of love, and big blesses.